Hello everyone. Welcome to Success Lab. Your mind is the battlefield where your destiny is decided. Every fortune, every invention, every empire begins in the mind. Those who master it rise above circumstance. Those who do not are crushed by it. Carnegie did not let poverty dictate his life. Edison did not let failure define him. Disney did not let ridicule stop him. Musk does not let impossibility limit him. Your circumstances are not the chains, they are the canvas. But without mastery of your mind, you will inevitably become a slave to whatever the world imposes upon you. Most people drift, reacting instead of directing. They blame luck, environment, or society for their failures, unaware that the mind is the true determinant of outcome. Drifters surrender their mental energy to fear, distraction, and indecision. They allow circumstances to dictate their focus, their beliefs, and ultimately their actions. Extraordinary individuals, by contrast, command their minds, bending circumstance to their will. The mind is both sword and shield. Mastery ensures that you control direction, emotion, and reaction. Thought is the origin of mastery. A mind that is scattered, reactive, or negative produces mediocrity. A mind that is disciplined, focused, and intentional produces influence, wealth, and opportunity. Carnegie's clarity of thought allowed him to navigate poverty and societal barriers. Edison's mental blueprint of invention guided thousands of experiments toward light. Disney's structured imagination transformed creative chaos into operational brilliance. Musk's mind maps futuristic technologies before action transforms them into reality. Mastery begins with the conscious cultivation of thought. Belief transforms thought into power. Without belief, even the clearest ideas fail to manifest. Edison believed electricity could be harnessed. Despite repeated failure and public doubt, Carnegie believed he could rise beyond his station, despite humble beginnings. Disney believed in imagination when the world saw fantasy. Musk believes in technological futures others deem impossible. Belief is the lens that focuses mental energy, the anchor that prevents despair, and the magnet that draws opportunity. Without belief, the mind remains a passive witness. With belief, it becomes a tool of creation. Discipline bridges thought and belief with action. Extraordinary individuals convert mental energy into tangible results because they act with consistency and focus. Carnegie acted strategically, Edison experimented relentlessly. Disney systematized creative production, and Musk executes across ventures with precision. Drifters hesitate, procrastinate, and allow emotion to dictate action. Mastery of the mind ensures that thought, belief, and action are aligned, producing results that defy chance, circumstance, or opposition. Environment reinforces mental conditioning. Those who fail to master their minds often adopt the limitations of their surroundings. Drifters absorb negativity, distraction, and low expectation. Extraordinary individuals curate their mental, social, and physical environments to support focus, learning, and growth. Carnegie immersed himself in books and mentors. Edison created laboratories optimized for experimentation. Disney surrounded himself with people who amplified his imagination. Musk structures teams and ecosystems to accelerate innovation. Mastery of the mind includes mastery of what you allow to influence it. Purpose acts as the internal compass that guides mental mastery. A mind without purpose is adrift, vulnerable to circumstance. Drifters drift because they lack direction. Carnegie's purpose aligned his decisions, focus, and energy with wealth creation. Edison's purpose aligned him with invention. Disney's purpose aligned him with imagination and operational excellence. Musk's purpose aligns him with technological progress. A clear purpose organizes thought, stabilizes belief, and directs action. Without purpose, even a strong mind can be misapplied. Emotion can either enslave or liberate. Drifters allow fear, envy, and doubt to dominate, magnifying obstacles and limiting potential. Extraordinary individuals harness emotion to fuel thought and action. Edison converted frustration into persistence. Carnegie converted ambition into strategic opportunity. Disney converted creativity into systematic productivity. Musk converts passion into technological progress. Mastery of the mind requires emotional discipline, controlling the inner landscape while directing energy outward. Thought dictates habit, and habit dictates destiny. Those who fail to master their minds cultivate random, destructive habits that perpetuate mediocrity. Those who deliberately direct thought cultivate habits that reinforce progress, knowledge, and skill. Carnegie's mental habits reinforced learning and strategy. Edison's mental patterns reinforced experimentation. Disney's patterns reinforced operational excellence. Musk's patterns reinforce innovation. Every day, your mind either builds chains or constructs wings. Master it, or circumstance will bind you. Finally, action is the proving ground of mental mastery. Thought, belief, discipline, environment, purpose, and emotion all remain theoretical until applied. Edison's thousands of experiments proved the mind's vision. Carnegie's decades of strategic effort proved the mind's blueprint. Disney's empire proved the mind's imagination. Musk's ventures proved the mind's capacity to reshape reality. Without action, the mind is a prisoner of its own potential. Mastery transforms thought into reality. Inaction transforms potential into regret. Mastering your mind begins with awareness. Most people live in autopilot, reacting to circumstance rather than shaping it. Every fear, doubt, and distraction that seeps into your consciousness chips away at your potential. Drifters allow these influences to control their focus and energy, believing that life happens to them. Extraordinary individuals understand that mastery begins internally. Carnegie knew that wealth required mental control long before it required financial skill. Edison knew that invention required mental clarity before it required technical experimentation. Disney knew that imagination needed focus before it could be operationalized. Musk knows that innovation begins in the mind long before rockets or batteries. To master your mind is to seize control of your destiny. Thought must be intentional. Random thinking produces random results. Drifters let circumstance dictate what occupies their mind. Extraordinary individuals curate their thoughts as carefully as they would design a blueprint. Carnegie mentally rehearsed strategies. Edison visualized solutions. Disney mapped entire creative experiences. And Musk simulates outcomes and contingencies before execution. Every extraordinary achievement starts with focused thought. What you think consistently and intentionally shapes the results you achieve. Belief is the magnet that pulls your thoughts into reality. Without belief, clarity and focus are weak forces, easily dismantled by doubt or opposition. Edison believed that light could be perfected. Carnegie believed he could rise above poverty. Disney believed imagination could be systematized into impact. Musk believes humanity can reach new technological frontiers. Belief energizes action, strengthens persistence, and attracts opportunity. To be enslaved by circumstance is to let belief slip, allowing fear and doubt to dominate. To master your mind is to anchor your belief so firmly that external conditions cannot shake it. Action converts mastery into tangible results. Thought without action remains theory. Belief without action remains hope. Edison acted on every hypothesis, Carnegie on every opportunity, Disney on every creative insight, Musk on every calculated innovation. Drifters hesitate and delay, letting fear dictate behavior. Extraordinary individuals act decisively, consistently, and strategically. Every deliberate action reinforces mastery, transforms energy into momentum, and bends circumstance toward intention. Your mind controls destiny, but only when action gives it form. Discipline is the silent architect of mental mastery. Ordinary effort is scattered, inconsistent, and unreliable. Extraordinary effort, fueled by disciplined thought and aligned with purpose, compounds exponentially. Carnegie disciplined his learning and investments. Edison disciplined experiments and routines. Disney disciplined imagination into operational systems. Musk disciplines execution across industries and projects simultaneously. Discipline converts potential into achievement and transforms vision into reality. The mind without discipline is a wild horse. With discipline, it becomes a stallion that propels you toward greatness. Environment influences the mind more than most realize. Drifters absorb negativity, distraction, and limitation, which reinforce mediocrity. Extraordinary individuals intentionally shape surroundings to support focus, learning, and action. Carnegie surrounded himself with mentors and knowledge. Edison optimized his laboratory. Disney surrounded himself with creative collaborators. Musk designs teams and ecosystems that maximize innovation. Mastery of the mind requires mastery of what you allow to influence it. Your environment either reinforces your power or diminishes it. Purpose is the compass of mental control. A mind without purpose is like a rudderless ship, easily tossed by circumstance. Drifters drift because their thoughts and actions lack direction. Carnegie's purpose guided him to wealth and influence. Edison's purpose guided him to illuminate the world. Disney's purpose guided him to operationalize imagination. Musk's purpose guides humanity toward technological advancement. Purpose organizes thought, aligns action, and channels belief into results. Without it, even the most disciplined mind can flounder. Emotional mastery is essential. Drifters are enslaved by fear, doubt, and resentment, allowing these feelings to dictate behavior. Extraordinary individuals harness emotion as fuel for action. Edison converted frustration into persistence. Carnegie converted ambition into strategic opportunity. Disney converted creativity into systematic output. Musk converts passion into large-scale innovation. The mind mastered emotionally channels energy rather than dissipating it. Without this control, circumstance becomes the master rather than the servant of your destiny. Habit is the engine of mental mastery. Thoughts repeated form habits, habits repeated shape life. Drifters develop reactive, destructive, or inconsistent habits that reinforce mediocrity. Extraordinary individuals cultivate habits aligned with thought, belief, discipline, and purpose. Carnegie's mental routines reinforced learning. Edison's routines reinforced experimentation. Disney's routines reinforced creativity and process. Musk's routines reinforce execution and innovation. You're what your mind repeatedly practices. Mastery is not optional, it is habitual. Finally, action is the proving ground. Mastery of thought, belief, discipline, environment, purpose, emotion, and habit remains theoretical until applied. Edison's inventions proved his mind's vision. Carnegie's wealth proved his mental strategy. Disney's empire proved his imagination operationalized. Musk's ventures prove his vision executed relentlessly. Inaction enslaves the mind to circumstance. Deliberate action liberates it. To master your mind is to dictate the terms of your life, bending circumstance rather than being bent by it. Mastering your mind is not a one-time act, it is a continuous process. Drifters settle for the status quo, reacting to every external stimulus as if it were absolute. Extraordinary individuals recognize that the world is a mirror of the mind. Carnegie's wealth, Edison's inventions, Disney's creative empire, and Musk's technological breakthroughs all began in the quiet discipline of internal mastery. They did not wait for circumstances to be favorable. They made their minds the source of favorable circumstances. Every thought, belief, and emotion became a tool to shape reality rather than react to it. Focus is the first weapon of mental mastery. A mind scattered across fear, distraction, and trivialities becomes a slave to circumstance. Edison focused his attention relentlessly on invention. Carnegie focused his study and networking on opportunity. Disney focused his imagination and operational systems on producing tangible impact. Musk focuses his mental energy on solving problems that redefine industries. Focused minds amplify opportunity, clarify decision-making, and convert effort into results. Without focus, even the most intelligent or talented mind is powerless. Belief is the fuel that sustains focus. Drifters hesitate because they are uncertain of their ability, potential, or destiny. Extraordinary individuals anchor belief so deeply that failure becomes a lesson, not a barrier. Edison believed he could create electric light despite thousands of failed experiments. Carnegie believed he could rise above poverty despite humble beginnings. Disney believed imagination could be operationalized despite bankruptcy. Musk believes in technological futures humanity has not yet realized. Belief acts as a magnet, attracting resources, opportunities, and solutions that align with your vision. Action is the bridge between internal mastery and external achievement. Thought without action remains theoretical. Belief without action remains wishful thinking. Edison tested, iterated, and experimented relentlessly. Carnegie invested, negotiated, and strategized with precision. Disney created systems, studios, and teams that transformed imagination into reality. Musk executes across multiple ventures with methodical rigor. Action turns mental mastery into measurable results, bending circumstances to your will. Drifters wait, extraordinary individuals move. Discipline compounds every effort. Talent and intelligence fluctuate, motivation fades, but discipline ensures consistency. Carnegie's disciplined habits produced compounding wealth. Edison's disciplined experiments led to groundbreaking inventions. Disney's disciplined creative routines built an empire. Musk's disciplined execution across ventures generates innovations on a global scale. Ordinary minds abandon effort, extraordinary minds endure. Discipline transforms potential into results. chaos into order, and thought into fortune. Environment either limits or amplifies mastery. Drifters absorb negativity, distraction, and mediocrity, allowing circumstance to dictate their potential. Extraordinary individuals carefully curate environments that support focus, learning, and action. Carnegie immersed himself in mentors and books. Edison optimized his laboratory for discovery. Disney surrounded himself with collaborators who amplified creativity. Musk structures teams and systems to maximize innovation. Mastery of the mind requires mastery of surroundings. You cannot control everything in life, but you can control what you allow to influence your thoughts and energy. Purpose gives meaning to thought, belief, and action. A mind without purpose drifts aimlessly, becoming a slave to circumstances beyond its control. Drifters wander because they lack direction. Extraordinary individuals pursue purpose with relentless determination. Carnegie's purpose focused every decision on wealth creation and influence. Edison's purpose focused every experiment on invention and illumination. Disney's purpose focused every creative and operational decision on imagination. Musk's purpose focuses every innovation on advancing humanity. Purpose aligns mental energy, magnifies focus, and provides clarity when circumstances are chaotic. Emotional mastery is essential to mental sovereignty. Fear, doubt, anger, and envy enslave the mind, dictating behavior and eroding opportunity. Drifters allow emotion to control thought, belief, and action. Extraordinary individuals channel emotion as fuel, amplifying motivation rather than dissipating energy. Edison converted frustration into persistence. Carnegie converted ambition into strategic opportunity. Disney converted creativity into structured systems. Musk converts passion into global innovation. Emotional control is not suppression. It is direction, turning inner energy into outward achievement. Thought shapes habit, and habit shapes destiny. Drifters repeat mental patterns that reinforce mediocrity, procrastination, distraction, indecision. Extraordinary individuals cultivate mental and behavioral patterns that reinforce mastery, focus, persistent strategic action, and continual learning. Carnegie, Edison, Disney, and Musk all relied on repeated mental discipline to create extraordinary results. The mind that is mastered produces habits that magnify potential and bend circumstance to your purpose. Finally, mastery is proven through deliberate action. All internal effort, thought, belief, discipline, environment, purpose, emotion, and habit is theoretical without execution. Edison's inventions, Carnegie's empires, Disney's creative kingdoms, and Musk's ventures are proof that mastery of the mind produces mastery of circumstance. To fail to act is to remain a slave to circumstance. To act with mastery is to command life itself. Your destiny is the direct result of the mind you choose to cultivate, the belief you reinforce, the discipline you practice, and the actions you take. The world does not grant power to those who wait, it yields to those who command their minds. Drifters drift because they allow circumstances to dictate their emotions, beliefs, and actions. Extraordinary individuals bend the world to their vision because they bend their minds first. Carnegie did not wait for opportunity. He shaped his mental landscape to attract it. Edison did not wait for invention to appear. He focused his mind relentlessly on solutions. Disney did not wait for approval. He designed systems that brought imagination to life. Musk does not wait for change. He creates it. Mastery of the mind is not optional. It is the foundation of freedom from circumstance. Focus is the engine of mental control. A scattered mind produces scattered results. Drifters allow distractions to erode energy and attention, leaving their potential untapped. Extraordinary individuals cultivate laser-like focus, prioritizing thought, belief, and action toward what matters most. Carnegie visualized wealth, then aligned every decision with that vision. Edison visualized solutions, then tested thousands of experiments. Disney visualized experiences, then built operational systems to achieve them. Musk visualizes transformative technology, then orchestrates every element to manifest it. Focus is not mere concentration. It is the deliberate direction of mental energy toward outcomes that define destiny. Belief is the fuel of focus. Drifters let fear, doubt, and external skepticism dilute confidence, leaving them paralyzed. Extraordinary individuals anchor beliefs so deeply that opposition, failure, and adversity cannot shake it. Edison believed he would invent the light despite ridicule and repeated failure. Carnegie believed he could rise from poverty despite societal limitations. Disney believed imagination could be operationalized despite bankruptcy. Musk believes humanity can reach technological frontiers others deem impossible. Belief transforms thought into unstoppable momentum, ensuring the mind governs circumstances rather than being governed by them. Action converts mastery into reality. Thought without action is fantasy. Belief without action is wishful thinking. Edison acted on every experiment. Carnegie acted on every opportunity. Disney acted on every idea and system. Musk acts on every plan and strategy. Drifters delay, hesitate, and react to circumstance instead of shaping it. Extraordinary individuals act decisively, consistently, and strategically, turning internal mastery into tangible outcomes. Action is the proof that the mind commands life rather than the other way around. Discipline compounds the power of action. Talent fluctuates. Motivation fades. Discipline ensures persistence, alignment, and continual progress. Carnegie's study and strategic execution compounded into wealth. Edison's structured experimentation compounded into invention. Disney's operational systems compounded creativity into an empire. Musk's regimented execution compounds innovation across industries. Without discipline, mastery remains theoretical. With it, extraordinary results become inevitable. Environment either amplifies or diminishes mental mastery. Drifters allow negativity, distraction, and low expectation to seep in, reinforcing limitation. Extraordinary individuals intentionally shape surroundings to support thought, learning, focus, and action. Carnegie immersed himself in books and mentorship. Edison optimized laboratories for efficiency and experimentation. Disney surrounded himself with teams that amplified creative output. Musk structures teams and ecosystems that maximize problem-solving and innovation. Mastery of the mind requires mastery of influence. You cannot always control circumstances, but you can control what you allow to influence your mind. Purpose is the compass of mental mastery. Without purpose, thought becomes aimless, belief becomes weak, and action becomes ineffective. Drifters drift because they lack a guiding principle. Carnegie's purpose drove every decision toward wealth and influence. Edison's purpose drove relentless experimentation. Disney's purpose drove creativity and operational excellence. Musk's purpose drives innovation for humanity's future. Purpose organizes mental energy, directs focus, and ensures persistence when obstacles arise. A clear purpose transforms circumstance into opportunity. Emotional mastery determines whether the mind becomes a tool or a trap. Drifters let fear, anger, envy, and frustration control choices. Extraordinary individuals channel emotion to fuel persistence, focus, and action. Edison converted frustration into relentless experimentation. Carnegie converted ambition into disciplined effort. Disney converted creativity into systematic production. Musk converts passion into technological achievement. Emotional mastery is not suppression. It is redirection, turning inner energy into outward achievement. Habits cement mastery. Thoughts repeated form habits, habits repeated shape life. Drifters cultivate reactive, inconsistent patterns that reinforce mediocrity. Extraordinary individuals cultivate habits that reinforce focus, belief, discipline, and action. Carnegie's learning and networking were habitual. Edison's experimentation was habitual. Disney's operational and creative routines were habitual. Musk's execution and innovation patterns are habitual. Mastery of the mind is not occasional, it is habitual, repeated and reinforced daily. Finally, deliberate action proves mastery. All thought, belief, discipline, purpose, environment, emotion, and habit is theoretical until applied. Edison's inventions, Carnegie's empires, Disney's creative kingdoms, and Musk's ventures prove that mental mastery bends circumstance to will. Inaction enslaves the mind, deliberate action liberates it. You are either a master of your mind, directing every thought, belief, and action, or a slave to the circumstances you allow to govern you. Freedom, success, and extraordinary impact begin where mental mastery begins. Mastery of the mind is not a single act, it is a lifelong practice. Every thought you entertain, every belief you reinforce, every emotion you channel, and every action you take either strengthens your mastery or erodes it. Drifters surrender daily, allowing circumstance, habit, and emotion to dictate their outcomes. Extraordinary individuals understand that mental mastery is a choice repeated consistently over time. Carnegie, Edison, Disney, and Musk did not achieve greatness by accident. They cultivated their minds deliberately, shaping thought, belief, action, discipline, and environment to serve their purpose. Your mind is your ultimate asset, and mastery is the key to freedom from circumstance. Focus is the foundation of this freedom. A scattered mind produces scattered results, leaving you at the mercy of external events. Extraordinary individuals cultivate attention, deliberately prioritizing thoughts, beliefs, and actions that align with their goals. Carnegie focused on wealth and strategic influence. Edison focused on invention. Disney focused on imagination operationalized. Musk focuses on innovation that transforms industries. Focused mental energy bends circumstances, creating opportunity where others see barriers. Without focus, the mind is reactive. With it, the mind commands reality. Belief converts focus into unshakable momentum. Drifters allow doubt, fear, and negativity to dilute confidence, leaving them paralyzed in uncertainty. Extraordinary individuals anchor beliefs so firmly that setbacks, criticism, and failure cannot deter them. Edison believed in the light when everyone else doubted. Carnegie believed he could rise above poverty when everyone else doubted. Disney believed in imagination when critics laugh. Musk believes in technological progress when others deem it impossible. Belief turns the mind into a force that attracts resources, solutions, and allies aligned with purpose. Action transforms mastery into tangible results. Thought without action is fantasy. Belief without action is wishful thinking. Edison acted on thousands of experiments. Carnegie acted strategically on every opportunity. Disney acted decisively on every idea. Musk acts relentlessly, orchestrating massive ventures across multiple industries. Drifters delay, hesitate, and react. Extraordinary individuals act decisively, consistently, and strategically. Action is the final proof that the mind controls circumstance rather than being controlled by it. Discipline compounds thought, belief, and action into measurable results. Talent fluctuates. Motivation fades. Discipline ensures consistency, alignment, and incremental progress. Carnegie's disciplined approach to learning and investing produced lasting wealth. Edison's disciplined experimentation produced invention after invention. Disney's disciplined operational routines amplified creativity into empire. Musk's disciplined execution compounds innovation across ventures simultaneously. Without discipline, mental mastery is theory. With discipline, it produces extraordinary results. Environment reinforces or limits mental power. Drifters absorb negativity, distraction, and mediocrity, allowing circumstances to dominate. Extraordinary individuals curate surroundings to amplify thought, learning, focus, and action. Carnegie surrounded himself with mentors, knowledge, and opportunity. Edison structured his laboratories for maximum discovery. Disney surrounded himself with teams that amplified creativity. Musk structures ecosystems that accelerate innovation. Mastery of the mind is incomplete without mastery of influence. The environments you inhabit shape the quality of your thoughts and actions. Purpose anchors every decision, thought, and action. A mind without purpose drifts. A mind with purpose commands life. Drifters drift because they lack internal direction. Carnegie's purpose-aligned decisions focus and energy toward wealth and influence. Edison's purpose guided relentless experimentation. Disney's purpose guided imagination operationalized. Musk's purpose guides technological progress. Purpose focuses mental energy, directs action, and ensures persistence when obstacles arise. Without it, even a disciplined, focused mind can flounder. Emotional mastery determines whether the mind becomes a tool or a trap. Drifters let fear, doubt, frustration, and anger control them. Extraordinary individuals channel emotion as fuel for persistence, focus, and execution. Edison converted frustration into relentless experimentation. Carnegie converted ambition into strategy. Disney converted creativity into operational output. Musk converts passion into groundbreaking innovation. Emotional mastery is not suppression. It is the deliberate redirection of energy toward results that matter. Habits cement mental sovereignty. Repeated thought becomes belief. Repeated belief becomes action. Repeated action becomes habit. Repeated habit defines life. Drifters develop reactive, unproductive routines that reinforce limitation. Extraordinary individuals cultivate mental, emotional, and behavioral patterns that reinforce mastery, focus, and persistence. Carnegie, Edison, Disney, and Musk all relied on disciplined habits to sustain mental control and produce extraordinary results. The mind that is mastered daily becomes the architect of freedom from circumstance. Finally, deliberate action is the proving ground. All internal effort, thought, belief, discipline, environment, purpose, emotion, and habit remains theoretical without execution. Edison's inventions, Carnegie's wealth, Disney's creative empire, and Musk's ventures prove that mastery of the mind bends circumstance to will. Inaction enslaves the mind, deliberate, disciplined, and purposeful action liberates it. You are either the master of your mind, commanding your life, or a slave to the circumstances you allow to control you. Mastery is freedom, it is power, it is destiny, and it begins today within your own mind. Thanks for watching.